How's it going, all you guys and girls in the Illumination? Time to jump aboard the Loom train. It's me, it's JJD, JJ the Illuminator here, the sweet one. Also known by almost countless other aliases and nicknames, but we won't get into that right now. Not right now.
Not right now.
I want to talk today about cheap people. These are people that I know in real life. I'm not talking about like Ebenezer Scrooge, like the real Ebenezer Scrooge from a book or a movie or anything. I mean, I've talked about this before. There's a guy that used to be part of the security department that him and this other security guard, they had this wooden nickel. I'm pretty sure I told the story before. And on Monday, one of them would buy coffee for the two of them, whoever had the nickel, right? Would buy coffee for the two of them at Dunkin', and then pass the wooden nickel to the other guy, the cheap guy. On Tuesday, he'd look at the nickel and he'd say, I really don't feel like coffee today. And he'd hand the nickel back to the first guy. So on Wednesday, that guy would buy coffee for the two of them. On Thursday, the cheap guy would say, I really don't feel like coffee today. So it was only because he didn't want to pay the money. He wanted to get the free coffee all the time. Well, guy A should have told the cheap guy, okay, you know what, then you buy tomorrow, you keep the nickel. No, he used to keep taking it back, and he would laugh about it. The thing is, we're not talking about a couple of cents here. We're talking about, at the time, like $2 coffees at the time. And he would laugh about it. Instead of saying, hey, keep it until next time, tomorrow. And if he's going to do it all week, say, you know what, this isn't working out then. You obviously just want someone to buy your coffee for you. But that's guy number one. I'm not sure if I told this story. There was two of my coworkers that on a Friday they would go and pick up fish and chips or whatever, and they would usually go halves and they'd have cash or whatever. Well, one week, as I remember it, and it might not be 100%, but something like 1 week, he didn't have the cash, so she paid with her debit card. And they would go to the restaurant and pick it up. But when you would swipe the card, it would ask how much you wanted to leave as a tip. And she would always just hit the 15% button or whatever like that. Even though some people don't tip when you're just picking up food. This particular place has a lot of young kids that work there, so she would tip. Well, the next time they went, he said, since you paid last time, I'll pay with my debit card, but I don't know how to use the machine. She slid his card, and then she hit the 15% button. Well, you would think that World War III broke out, because, oh my goodness, what did you do that for? Why did you tip them 15%? They don't do anything. They just put it in a bag. Yeah, but the ones that are cooking it, it's a lot of younger kids that work there, and they split the tips. Oh, but you're not supposed to tip it. I can't believe it. We're talking about like probably $2.50 tip. We're talking about. Who would have thought this guy? I never knew this guy was so tight with his money. Oh, he's shooting this, that, and the other. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I mean, he makes good money. His husband makes good money, much more than him. Works at some bank. His husband works at some bank and makes over $100,000 a year. He has money, but he's tighter than Tom Thumb's butt. But just cheap people. I never understood. You could be cheap with yourself if you want to be a little frugal and say, well, you know what, I don't need to buy Palmolive dish soap. For what I do, I can buy the Dollar Tree brand or whatever. I mean, you could be cheap with yourself. Don't be cheap around other people, because the stink will stay with you for a long time, let me tell you. Just thinking about it, because lately it seems like this whole idea of being cheap is starting to come into play again with people around me and my whole co-workers and stuff. And just something I wanted to talk about again, because let me tell you, it's okay to save your money, but don't be cheap. Enough said. I'm off to the races. Say la Versky. I love you all. Stay safe. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. This is the Illuminator, and I'll be back.
We look for things to make us go, things to make us smart, like porridge. Porridge will make us smart.